I'll brief you about
Silent, please.
Operation Sugu Handama, which was carried out by the sector today. Based on the input what we received from Jammu and Kashmir police late in the evening yesterday, a swift cordon was planned by 44 Rashtriya Rifle, and making use of the hours of darkness, they swiftly mobilized to the orchards of Sugu Handama so as to prevent the escape of the terrorists. The entire movement by the parties was carried out in a concealed and tactical manner to prevent detection by the early warning of the terrorists who were in the area. The intelligence for the operation was built very diligently by Jammu and Kashmir police and by own Rashtriya Rifle unit over a period of time, wherein we were getting regular inputs of movement of terrorists in this area east of Rambiara. These terrorists were involved in numerous notorious acts to include killing of apple traders in trains last year, carrying out excesses on the local populace, threatening and harassment of innocent civilians, businessmen, and shopkeepers. The terrorists were also involved in brainwashing and coercing the local youth in joining the terrorist ranks. There were also reports of their being involved in abduction of police personnel and carrying out standoff attacks, grenade attacks on security forces pickets. In the thick wooded orchards of Sugu Handama was late in the midnight, and the search commenced in the early morning hours. At around 05:30 hours, while the search parties were moving ahead, they came under heavy volume of fire by the terrorists, and the terrorists also lobbed a few hand grenades on them. The cordon was immediately readjusted. The parties were repositioned so as to retaliate to the terrorist fire and pin them down. In the ensuing gun battle, which followed over 6 to 7 hours, there were 6 to 7 attempts made by the terrorists to break the cordon. At around 0700 hours, a terrorist moved closer to the cordon and lobbed a grenade and brought down heavy volume of fire on the stop in the cordon. His attempt was prevented by the alert troops and he was neutralized at 0700 hours. Around 1200 hours, two more terrorists, they brought down heavy volume of fire on the search party, which was inside the orchard. The fire was retaliated by the search party and both the terrorists were neutralized. Around 1300 hours, the balance two terrorists again made a futile attempt of breaking the cordon. The cordon parties immediately retaliated and neutralized both the terrorists. The 5 terrorists killed in the operation and their weapons, their bodies have been handed over to the Jammu and Kashmir police for their further disposal as per the standing operating procedures. During the entire operation, there was no harm or damage done to a civilian life or the property. Special emphasis was laid during the operation to ensure that the orchard and the produce in the orchard and the crops are not damaged. The Jammu and Kashmir police and the CRPF successfully prevented the stone pelters from interfering with the operation, wherein they had gathered in large numbers. Over the last 48 hours, 9 terrorists have been eliminated around Shopian, and if we take into account Operation Rebel, which was also conducted east of Rambiara around Shopian, a total of 14 terrorists have been eliminated, and I am sanguine that with elimination of this terrorist, there will be peace in the area for coming some time. Thank you. Jai Hind. Like I have just mentioned, the elimination of these 14 terrorists will definitely bring a sigh of relief for the innocent civilians, the apple growers in this area. The orchard growers have suffered a lot of loss in the last season. I am hopeful they will make up this season.
How do you see the position of Hizb? Because Hizb has received.
Over the last few months, and especially these operations, and the operation what we did in Token Begpura, wherein their operational chief commander, Riaz Naiku, was eliminated, has suffered a lot of setbacks. Their leadership has been targeted, and I'm sanguine that the local youth will understand that this path is futile and they will shun this path of violence.
There are reports that
Getting reports of likely IDs on the security forces, a vehicle ID. However, this threat was neutralized once a vehicle ID was recovered and destroyed in the areas of Bunhanjan next to Rajpura, Pulwama, and the ID expert was eliminated in the Operation Kangan near Pulwama, called Fauji Bhai. So I am hopeful that the ID threat which was emanating has been utilized. However, we still have inputs about two Pak terrorist, Walid Bhai, who specializes in ID, and we are cautious. All precautions are being taken to ensure that our security forces do not suffer any harm, loss or damage from the IDs what the terrorists have.
So
I'd like to appeal to the masses, to the mothers and to the terrorists that they should shun this path of futile violence. They should surrender. All efforts will be made to ensure that they return back safely and join the mainstream.
Sir, today we
Did not suffer any casualties. There were